Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I'll be talking about the second earth sign, Virgo. When trying to figure out the essence of Virgo, it's important to consider the qualities of the Virgin as referred to in ancient Mediterranean cultures. The Virgin in this ancient context refers to a person, usually a woman, who is pure of spirit, not necessarily a physical body virgin, and then incorporate the qualities of the element of earth and the modality of mutable into the mix. In mythology, Virgo was said to represent Erigone, the innocent young daughter of Icarus. The legend goes that when she discovered her father dead, she then hanged herself in grief, and because of this act was then raised to the heavens for her singleness of devotion to her father. Virgo is usually depicted in the heavens as a female figure that holds a staff in her right hand and sheaves a wheat in her left. The sign of Virgo has built a bit of a reputation amongst astrologically savvy people as the sign of the nitpicking perfectionist. In actual fact, though, Virgos view themselves as being enlightened beings of a discriminating nature. One of the most important life lessons for the Virgo to learn is how to see things in larger terms. These are the people that zero in on a tiny tear in the genes of a new acquaintance, rather than noticing the interesting qualities of a potential new friend. In other words, they're hung up on the minutiae of life, often to the extreme. Most Virgos tend towards being somewhat shy and quite cautious. They also have a tendency to underestimate themselves, which can be a real problem because it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy as their true abilities fade into the background of life. When you sit down and think about the root of the legendary Virgo perfectionism, you realize that it is far less to do with perfection than with Virgo's diminished perception of the world around them. In other words, they focus so hard on the minutiae that they miss the big picture of what is happening around them. As a result, they end up living a life of dreariness that comes out of their deep sense of discipline, duty, self-control, and love of routines. Virgos are good at settling for the minor roles of life, rather than moving beyond their comfort zones and chancing using their natural gifts and superior minds. Although Virgos tend towards intellectual brilliance, this wonderful quality is nothing without the ability to look at the big picture. The brilliant Virgo then ends up filling their days with duties and errands, never understanding that the mundane day-to-day necessities of daily life will eat you alive if you let it. There is never an end to the minutiae of daily living. As a mutable sign, Virgo tends towards being indecisive. As a result, they wind up following someone else's book of rules. In Virgo's mind, if they follow the established rule book of life, then right and wrong and black and white become infinitely simple. Their minds love this rigid simplicity. Virgos can be the lone wolves of the zodiac. They constantly fear the possibility of rejection. This concept really consumes the average Virgo, and as a result, they will try to engage in social interactions from a position of control, which to them ensures they're never being rejected. However, this mindset will then prevent any deep emotional connections, and so a certain emotional distancing results. Virgo has a strong tendency to choose the wrong people as life partners. They then become greatly disillusioned by this negative experience, and so decide to turn off their capacity to feel, in the belief that this will ultimately protect them from future emotional traumas. Yet all that it truly does is to isolate them further. It is difficult to be around a negative Virgo because everything in the life's experience is perceived as being dark. The negative Virgo will find something wrong with even the most beautiful of days, and will view other people as being rude or unbelievably stupid. In other words, they can be real downers. When really down in the dumps, this type of Virgo ends up pulling others into their black hole of negativity. Everything is imperfect and rotten with the world. There is an almost obsessive quality to the mind when they are in this state, as their perspective gets narrowed and highly subjective, and tinged with anguish and jealousy and competitive sort of anger. This type of Virgo will then see themselves as the victim of life. They believe that they are the first to get slighted, snubbed, shit on, passed over, ignored, or just plainly taken advantage of. If this concept is allowed to solidify in the Virgo nature, it then hardens into the type of person who then dwells not upon actually becoming something themselves, but instead practically lives their life to point out what other people are not. In other words, the critic. Virgos as a whole, though, are the most capable persons in your world. The Virgo is, as a rule, is a quiet and indispensable person in anyone's life. These people are extremely conscientious and are highly responsible. Virgo needs to feel needed by others. Few things in life make the Virgo happier than being the one that quietly fixes a dire set of circumstances in the day-to-day running of life. In ways that are meaningful to Virgo, they love to serve others, and as a result, they are very good at it. This quality of Virgos make excellent doctors and nurses, psychologists, astrologers, healers, and life aides to those in places of power. When Virgo possesses a great intellect with sharp perceptiveness and the patience for the details of life. They are also highly gifted at organizing others and attending to the behind-the-scenes daily routines and workload of keeping everything running smoothly. There is a painstaking attention to details in the average Virgo's daily life, an innate perfectionism, if you will, that this sign is renowned for. As a result of this, Virgo is the sign of the creative master who genuinely cares about all the infinitesimal details of what they are creating. Virgo makes incredible artists and architects because of this incredible eye for detail, perspective, structure, and form. When mature, Virgos are kind people by nature, and they enjoy caring for elements of the animal kingdom, the underdog, or their most trusted friends. Virgo's caring is a subtle force. It is not sentimental in the usual sense. This is because it is practically oriented, and thus prepared for action with little or no fanfare. These people are strong in the face of sickness, death, and severe depressions in others. They are the great healers in this life with their responsible and dutiful personalities. These people display true compassion for others that is a gentle and practically oriented and discriminating all at the same time. Therefore, this innate compassion is expressed quietly and behind the scenes of life. Virgos are highly intelligent beings that possess a clever, sarcastic sense of humor that enjoys pricking others' self-inflated balloons of ego, as well as a keen sense of the absurdities of life. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscription button right below this video. Until next time, take care.